Hey, homeowner, Shaun Miller here with Beneath the Surface, and today we have a very special guest with us, Shaun Stevenson, which is co-owner of the White Squirrel. So, what a legacy you guys have, and so
it's been a journey.
Yes,
I told least.
It hadn't all been like this, has it?
No, it's been a learning experience for sure. Like, yeah, it's I've learned to have thick skin, and I've learned that getting a stupid tattoo will make you persevere through the tough situations. As every morning after we closed the first White Squirrel version 1, every morning I'd wake up, I'd look at my tattoo, and I'd be like, I gotta make this work. Yeah, I got this big tattoo on my arm.
So maybe through COVID,
COVID was great to me. Like I know that sounds awful, but I loved it because it shut the first White Squirrel down, which sucked. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason. I got to spend a lot of time at home with my family and riding bikes and drinking margaritas outside with neighbors outside. But it made me realize that I was a little tougher than I thought. Because it did shut down the first White Squirrel. I restructured. I took on all the debt, but I met Brian, my new partner, Brian Mefford, and now I've got the White Squirrel 2.0, which is above and beyond everything I wanted.
Wow.
And it's become it's become so much more than a brewery, and I didn't mean for that to happen, but right. I've grasped it and run with it though.
So if you don't know, there's some CEOs and stuff around town, and they all do some due diligence and maybe looking to come to this town, and they go to a place like White Squirrel and they just ask for feedback. And so Shaun Stevenson might do his input like, hey, Briarwood has a great school, and then this is the going on, and this is it. So it's we're shocked because Mary and we see these CEOs, so there's no like one demographic here at White Squirrel. You've got the CEOs, you got the regular guys, and
it's awesome
everywhere in between.
I'll never forget the day I realized that I was doing something right. Was Dan Cherry was sitting there, and he's a legendary fighter pilot from Vietnam, and right beside him was one of my neighbors, black dude with dreadlocks, and right beside him was a friend of mine, Callie, who has tattoos on her eyelids and dreadlocks. And I'm like going, this is exactly what I didn't know I wanted.
Yeah.
I want everyone, and it was just like, and it is, we call it Bowling Green's living room. I know it's cheesy, but it is, everyone's comfortable there.
Wow.
Every single person, and that's what I knew I wanted that, but I didn't realize how much I wanted it till I saw it.
I know.
Yeah, it's cool. And then like as far as the recruiting goes too, it's an easy tool. Like I recruited Mike Dramo from Graves Gilbert, brought a guy in.
Yep.
And I was just, it was just an easy sell. I was like, we've got the greatest private schools that are public in the world.
Yeah.
Like I sent my kid to a private school, but it was called Potter Gray. It's a public school.
Yeah.
I mean, like in Briarwood, Potter Gray, they're both a half mile from our houses.
Right.
And they're some of the best elementary schools. Just the school systems. Just everything about Bowling Green. It's just an easy sell.
So Mike Duramo brings his CFO, and then this guy hears about all these great things about Bowling Green. So, and these guys are like Graves Gilbert Clinic. They're their leadership there. So.
And he came. He did.
And he's a great guy. Him and his wife, they're joy
awesome
to be around.
Yeah, and it's just Bowling Green's an easy sell if you break it down.
And they talk about White Squirrel in the chamber meetings and stuff. So I mean, it's really neat to hear that.
I love it.
If you don't know, Shaun Stevenson is my neighbor and I'm his neighbor, so it's pretty neat. And Shaun, how did you become? You're a brewmaster, right?
Used to be. I was an accidental brewer, is what I called myself. So I started. So I came to school here.
Yeah.
In '93.
Yeah.
And then Hops opened, which was way before its time.
So we worked together at Hops.
Yes. And that was like 95, 96.
Yep.
And it was way before its time. It was a brewery that was before breweries were being formed, and it was a corporate brewery, but it only brewed its own beer.
Right.
And so I was my first bartending gig. I was 21, and they were like, "Hey, you want to go to Chattanooga and be the brewmaster?" I was like, "I don't know nothing about beer." They're like, "It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
And so I went to 22 years old. I quit school and I went to Chattanooga, and my name was on the door. I was 22, and I was the brewmaster, and I was just reading the book. Like They gave me 9 months of training in 3 weeks, and then they just put me in this giant brewery and said, and while the restaurant was being built around me, they're like, "Get to work."
So, I remember that.
Yeah.
Todd. Remember Todd?
Yeah, he was the kitchen manager.
Yeah, I remember. I felt something. I was like, I just remember when they made the announcement that he was going to be the upcoming brewmaster, whatever the term was.
Yeah, and Mitch was the brewmaster.
Yes.
At the Bowling Green location. He gave me my 9-month training in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I just I just jumped in head first.
So long.
And that's where it started.
Yeah. History. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I felt like you were doing, I just felt like something was going to happen with that because that was because I would like research, but it was really expensive to be in the brewing business back then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it still is, but
Still
like
is,
then
but-
it was dangerous too because it was so new.
Yes.
It was like, and to only serve your own beer is to this day, I don't think it's smart, but like back then it was just reckless, but it worked
Right.
for a while. But they closed, but that's a different story. But it's like, you know, the brewing business has changed. I mean, hell, I'm 50 now. So that was 28 years ago. And then just since I got into the brewing business 10 years ago, when we opened the first White Squirrel in 2015, the industry and the landscape has changed so much.
Right.
I mean, so much. Like there's, you know, these breweries, a lot of small breweries are failing.
Right.
And because they don't realize that you can't just be a brewery. You can't just say, hey, you're going to come in and drink my beer and my beer only. I mean, it can work in bigger cities at a very small level.
Right.
But you've got, you know, like with what we've done, and it was an accident, is we at first, when I first opened the new one back in 23, I had to get people down there. I did everything I could to show them that I wasn't just a brewery. Because like a lot of people, like if they don't drink beer, especially craft beer, if they hear brewery, they're like, why would I go?
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm the second biggest high noon seller in town. You know, like I sell everything and I sell a lot of it.
Right.
And it used to hurt my feelings. I was like, why don't you just drink my beer? But now I'm like, no. I want everybody.
Right.
I want you to come and drink water, drink coffee, or drink Pepsi. I don't care what I just want you there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got the atmosphere, and they got a stage back there for a band. If you haven't been, they've got some.
Yeah, we've got 3 stages now. So we've got three different rooms and 3 different stages. So we've got the tasting room with the comedy actually tonight, and then we got the main bar, and that's we do our bluegrass and our 1 and 2 piece, and then the big stage we do our bands.
And then you got that outside.
And then got the outside, which we're getting ready to completely redo. It's going to be cool as.
So, and then they got a truck.
We got fire truck.
Fire truck.
And then we started beer out of that. I'm taking that to the hangar tomorrow for Dan Cherry.
I saw that. White Squirrel is going to be the.
So we brewed a beer for him last year, and we still sell the crap out of it.
Well, how neat is that?
Yeah, so it's called the Phantom 550. That was named after his plane that he flew.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we made it for him last year, and it sold so good, we just never got rid of it.
Yeah.
It's a blueberry Belgian white. And,
wow.
And we did it just for Dan and for his reunion last year, because last year was a big year for their reunion.
Yes.
All the guys that when his whole story where he shot the fighter pilot down and went and met him, became best friends. That whole crew, except the guy from Vietnam, were there last year.
Yes, I read that story.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
So, wow. So when you're strategizing, you know, we remember there was a point in time that you all sold food before COVID, pre-COVID, at your other location, and then part of the strategy, I guess, going to the new location was not do the food.
Yes.
Just use food trucks. They have food trucks at the White Squirrel.
Yeah, it was just a no-brainer. I still get asked when I'm bringing my food back. So the food was excellent, but that's just a whole another layer of crap, if you will. Like It takes a special person to own a bar, but it takes a real special person to run a restaurant and a bar.
Yeah.
And so with all the food trucks, we have wonderful food trucks, and I'm like, wow, you know. First of all, I use every inch of my plot. You know, I don't have room for it, but then it's $500,000 just to put a restaurant in there. Right. That's just to start it. And then it's just like, wow, I'm focusing on beer. I'm focusing on atmosphere. And so with the food trucks, it was a no brainer. And it was tough at first, but it's really working now. The food trucks are solid. They were at a time I have control issues. Yeah. And there was a time where I had problems with, you know, I didn't have control over the food truck. So if it rained and they didn't want to come out, they didn't, you know, and now I've become good relationships with them, and they do that. But, you know, the control issue was a problem at first, but it was worth it not having to run a kitchen.
Right. I get that. Sometimes you just, I don't know, I don't mow my own grass. I'm going to let that guy that mows grass do it. You know, because that's what he's good at.
Well, and then we got Lisa's Dairy Dip, and now we got Danny's, and we got empanadas within walking distance. And like, so we do, you know, we do like delivery services with them when we don't have food trucks, or even when we do, let's say they don't want lobster, we have a lobster truck. They want an empanada, or they want a smash burger from Lisa, you know. So like, it's supporting everyone else around us too. So it's cool because I love supporting other local businesses. So it's really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
So He said Danny's. I mean, if you guys don't know, they got this new joint on College Street, and I'm gonna tell you, it's A1A. He's got the other pasta place.
He still has his Fakashi to go stuff, but his restaurant, it's solid.
I know.
I went there. I got lunch to go yesterday. I do it at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, I told my wife, I said, this is Las Vegas food in Bowling Green, Kentucky, in my eyes. You know,
It's proper.
Yeah, he's
like
doing
we
it.
went to Knoxville a couple weeks ago for my daughter's graduation, and we went to probably the best Italian restaurant I've ever been to in Knoxville. Danny's is right there.
What was the name of it?
I can't remember. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
I lived on a houseboat for 6 years. It's actually when I learned this industry in Knoxville.
Yeah,
so
that's
where I
right.
started.
Yeah, so like one of Haley's roommates that graduated with her, she's from New York, but she's really Italian. Her family's from Italy, and she said it's the best Italian restaurant. And but Danny's is like, I mean, I'm telling you, it's right there.
He's there.
I can't really know it, but yeah.
So Mary's father has something to do with that building. We actually looked at that building before we bought this place, but somehow him and Abraham, they went in and they've got that thing going on. So Danny's is the anchor to all those other businesses in there, and I think he's going to feed those guys because they're going to get exposure because of this guy. I mean, he's just rocking it.
He's doing great. And then Juan at Empanadas BG, I think he's doing really well too, right beside Danny. And yeah, I just love it. I love what's happening this side of downtown.
So White Squirrel 2.0 is not on. It's probably on the other side of the tracks to some people in here. So you're in the Shake Rag district.
Shake Rag district. Yeah.
So and then you're going to be the anchor to that district and part of it. I mean, that's
been awesome. And the cool thing about it is I had no idea when I took this building that what was getting ready to happen down there. And it's happening quick. Like with Chris at Shake Rag Barbershop, he opened Shake Rag Bar. Yes. You know, we do all kinds of stuff together. He's a great friend of mine. And then with Danny's, and then I'm actually meeting with Derek Huff here a little later today. And Mustang Club's going to open sooner than later. And then it's just going to keep growing toward the river. And you know, the river's doing they're going to start construction on their whitewater rafting. I mean, that right there is an economic impact that no one understands.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And there's another development. Somebody said that
Patrick
Reynolds
and Kelly Coleman are developing that whole block too. So that is going to be huge. And then, I mean, but just the development of the riverfront on the city side and like the impact that's going to have is the water. So like basically from Ocoee River, which is in Cleveland, Tennessee, to I think Akron, Ohio, there's no whitewater rafting, anything.
Wow.
And so we're right in the middle of that. So we're going to be getting so many kayakers and whitewater rafters.
Yeah.
And that is literally 2 blocks from my building. And when the kayakers like craft beer. It's like, it's a dream come true for me.
That's neat. So you used to have to go to Lake Chattanooga to do some whitewater rafting right here.
That's
and there's different levels, which this might not be an Olympics kind of course kind of thing, but
it will eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
That's how the Ocoee started. And then the Olympics back in the 90s, like it got them Olympic level, but there's, I mean, that's the closest thing.
That's exactly
right. 3.5, 4 hour drive.
Right.
It's going to be huge. Just the impact of all that.
Right. And Chattanooga's done well because of that.
It reformed their downtown.
Yes, it is phenomenal. If you've not been to downtown Chattanooga, it's phenomenal. The hardscapes and just all the construction.
It's unreal. Yeah, because when I moved there years and years ago, you didn't go downtown.
Yeah.
It was dangerous.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, and it didn't look like much either. I mean, it looked like a little Cincinnati or something. I don't know. It just wasn't very cool. So what does Sean Stevenson do when he goes out of town? Are you checking out other restaurants and going to craft beer places?
I do all the time. Yeah. And like as far as, I go to restaurants everywhere downtown because I like to drink. And I like to support local. Yeah. But I'm constantly, when I'm traveling, it wears my family out. I'm constantly going to breweries and just getting ideas. And you know, it's a nonstop moving object because we're going to constantly be under construction, right? No matter what. I mean, we're going to constantly be doing something new. Like we just bought these 3 containers. We're doing this container thing out back that's going to be so cool, right? Like we're going to have this bar and a storage container. Yeah, it's just so it's just constant. And then of course we're already outgrowing the brew system we're in, so we're already we're in the process of buying the building that we're in now, and then we're looking at expanding into a production facility. So it's just, it's there's constant bottlenecks. It's all right. So my brewers need more kegs. I get them more kegs. Well, now they need more cooler space. Well, now I'm building more cooler space. And then they need more tanks. So I got more tanks. And so eventually we're getting ready to grow up to the big boy world and get a proper brew system for my boys.
Yeah. So it's hard to be the visionary, and then you can't be too much of a visionary in any one spot, because then that might take away from another spot.
Well, and
So,
that's what I learned is I always introduce Randall Erskine to people as I got the vision and he makes me look good, but he's really got a lot more of the vision than I do. But like I learned that I can't do everything, and I about killed myself doing it at the old place. And I learned that if I surround myself with good people, they make me look a lot better, a lot cooler than I am. So like Brian, my business partner, is amazing. Avery, she does everything for us. Randall, and then our bartender Sven and everybody. I mean, it's just like you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
And then of course my wife is, as you know, the most patient person alive.
Must be.
Yeah.
Great family, good neighbors. Got Thor. If you don't know about Thor, Thor's famous.
Thor. He's something else.
He's a cat about this big around.
He's gotten a little more cantankerous since he lost his arch nemesis.
Yeah, so, I know, terrible.
Yeah.
But he, I guess he spends half the time at his house, half the time at my house.
60-40 your house.
Unless Mary's out of town. I don't know why. I thought he liked me more than Mary. But
no, you can tell when Mary's out of town. I'm like, why is this cat in my house so much?
I've never been around a cat. I've always been a dog guy, so I'm always out there messing with the dog. But once we met Thor, this whole thing changed. So gotten so attached to our neighbor's cat.
He knows when they're getting home. He's out in the front of the garage.
I know, like a dog.
So funny.
I think he's a dog that looks like a cat.
Yeah.
And people come over and like, man, that's the biggest cat I've ever seen.
It's funny to watch him and how he.
This cat's so smart. I tell if he stays the night at our house and he sleeps on our bed, well, he figured out that if he wakes Mary up, she just puts his butt outside, right? But if he wakes me up, then he gets treats. So guess who he wakes up? Me. And then he figured out that I wear hearing aids and I can't hear anything at night. So he brushes against my face and he wakes me up because he knows he's going to get treats. So this guy's got it under control. It doesn't matter what you do. He's just a really smart cat, I guess. Too smart for his own good.
He is.
And then,
and he used to hate me. He used to attack me like constantly when we first got him. I don't know what I did wrong, but yeah, he finally warmed up to me.
There's been a learning curve.
Yeah.
Been a learning curve. So we got all the way back to 1995.
Yeah.
Then White Squirrel been around.
So White Squirrel. So 1990, like I did the hops thing, and then I went to Louisville, and I was assistant brewer at a brewery called Oldenburg. And then I went out west, and I started just playing around. Like I lived in Flagstaff, Arizona, Northern California, Eugene, Oregon. And I would just, I would do whatever I could in the brewery just to get the feeling. Like I'd sweep floors. It didn't matter.
Right.
Or I'd just sit there and drink at them. And but like I bounced around to breweries, and this is in the late 90s. Just I didn't know what I was doing, but I was building knowledge of what I wanted, and I didn't realize it at the time. And then when I got the first White Squirrel, it wasn't what I wanted, but it was a building block, and it made me realize that I really enjoyed building a brand, and I didn't know that. I like that way more than I like brewing.
Yes.
And
I think that's fair to say. You've done it. I think you've done it. And then you see the little squirrel. Scotty's got a garbage truck, and a big white squirrel on it. There's a lot of like loyalty there.
Yeah.
And then, like he said, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, what he just talked about, like back in our day, it seemed like you made all these sacrifices and stuff. It wasn't about the money; it was about the exposure. And so, if our wives would have said, "No, you bring home a paycheck," it wouldn't have been happening.
Again, my wife's the most patient woman alive. Like in between the lull of the 2020 shutdown of White Squirrel 1 and the opening of 2023 White Squirrel 2, I couldn't get a real job, if you will, because I wouldn't give up on that dream. And so I just, like Scott Henderson helped me out. I delivered Pepsi with him and stuff just to try to keep that dream going.
So I'm like you, when you get at a crossroads, you're like, no, you got to stay focused, because whatever you put your most time and energy and effort on, that's what you're going to succeed in. So you can't just totally let go of it. You got to nurture it. But it's pretty neat, like you said, how you thought everything happened for a reason. So when the first White Squirrel went out, it was actually a blessing on this side of it. So
it gave me what I always wanted. And I mean, now it's been a challenge financially. And it's not easy running a 10,000 square foot, 1940s built cinder block building.
Wow.
But the challenge has been great.
Yeah.
It's like I've learned the last few weeks that I can't work 100 hours a week. I'm too old, but I'm learning that the hard way.
So you guys have hosted some pretty neat. You had an '80s party recently, and so everybody's dressing up and doing that thing.
Yeah.
And then you got your beer served in Bowling Green at like Josh Poland's restaurant. Hickory
We're at Hickory Oak. We're at Montana Grill. We're at the new Atomic Kitchen. We're all over. We're at Drake's, 440.
Drake's, yeah.
Oh
wow.
Local taco, everywhere.
Wow.
And we could be in more places. We just got to brew more beer. We're getting there.
Right. So,
yeah.
What do you think? Is there a percentage, like 20% private label or the White Squirrel brand, and then what is it, 60-40 or no?
It's like for distribution, I'd say we're about 15% distribution, 85% in-house, which is great because in-house is where you make money.
Yeah,
that's where you make your most money, and it's not cheap. Just no part of it. You know that part of anything owned in business is cheap.
Right.
But once we got these new tanks, and once we get this new cooler built, we're going to bring a proper canyon line in, and then we're going to start attack, and we're just going to shoot up I-65. And I mean, I've already got 15 accounts in Louisville ready for me, and we're just going to start slowly, but you can't overpromise. So you got to make sure you're ready. You got to take care of home first. So we got Bowling Green as our first, we got to make sure Bowling Green's happy with us. And then we start slowly, like we're already in Glasgow, we're already in Cave City. But so we're slowly going to branch out, but you got to do it responsibly. I call it crawl, walk, run.
Yeah.
You got to walk before you run.
Right.
So that's what we're doing now. And then, so when we feel comfortable enough, especially when we get the proper canning done, that's when we're really going to start opening up. But again, it's terrifying, but exciting at the same time, because again, you don't want to overpromise. You don't want to say, hey, take my beer, I got you. And then you say, oh shit, I'm out of beer. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm not supposed to cuss.
And then, no, you're fine. And so knowing how that's gonna go down. I see what you're saying. You got to have distribution and delivery. And then...
Yeah, I mean, so luckily, and I was a big part of dealing with it. I learned a lot about Frankfurt, but back in 2019, we got a self-distribution law passed. And so that helps. It helps, but at the same time, it hinders a lot too, because it's a pain in the butt.
I heard about that. So, like, if you own a winery where you can actually do your
so the
own
wineries just got their self-distro rights down, and the distilleries just this year.
Wow.
Breweries we won back in 18 and 19.
Okay.
And so, but we still use distributors.
Right.
But like in Bowling Green, like why wouldn't I self-distribute?
Right.
Because like my distributor used to be in Northern Kentucky, and so like if 440 wanted to order a keg from me, then they had to come pick it up. They had to take it back to their warehouse in Northern Kentucky, house it for 24. So it could take 440
3 days,
a week to get a keg that's a block down the road.
Yeah.
And so now they call me now. I just take it.
Perfect.
Yeah. And
much better.
Yeah.
And then you get that they're more apt to carry the brand, which is more brand building, name recognition.
Yeah. And we actually make a little bit of money on it that way.
Well, yeah.
Because you cut the middleman out.
Yeah.
But now,
money.
when you move out of Bowling Green, obviously distributors are a big asset.
Right.
Because it's just a lot of work.
Right.
So
I think you touched on this already a little bit, but you might have something else. So what does White Squirrel look like in 10 years?
So hopefully we build our production facility right behind us. There's a lot open, and we want to put a big production facility with big, beautiful glass walls, and you can see the big, pretty brewery in there. And we got that block. That whole block will be just a playground for our people, and then obviously we want that, and then we want to open satellite locations eventually. Yeah, and I got ideas where I want them, but
because some of those, you think something's good, and it's not, and you just don't know. But then again, you might be able to go like, I guess Asheville, North Carolina. That's a big
Brevard, Nashville. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah. So Brevard is they claim to be the white squirrel capital of the world. Yeah. Although I've seen a lot more white squirrels here than there. My son used to go to camp there. But that's funny you said that, because that area is my goal for our next location.
So we had a basketball goal at our house, and it was anyway. We took it down, and when they took it down, there used to be a white squirrel in our neighborhood, and I hadn't seen him in a while.
I neither.
They're telling me he was in that pipe of that squirrel, and they don't even know how he got in there. But when they took the basketball goal down, he had gone in there, I guess, Anyway, that's where he was
Because
at.
I used to see him. I haven't seen him in a
I
while.
know. He used to climb the line and the
Uh-huh.
fence, and I was like, "That's where Sean got the name for this business, that
Yeah.
White Squirrel here." But
It's I've got the list of the silly names that we were contemplating somewhere at the brewery. I mean, I got a list this long, and it was some really silly names with the White Squirrels at the very top.
isn't that crazy?
Well, but the first one, because my two old partners, we all had big beards, so it was gonna be Bearded Brothers Brewing Company. And so the first hire we made was Laura Hagan, who is a trademark attorney. She's just a ninja. She's the best there is. And that's the first hire we made. And there was this brothers up in Washington that were brewing in their parents' backyard
yeah,
that had opened Bearded Brothers. And that's so we canned it.
Right.
And then that's when like the next one on my list was White Squirrel. That's where thank God because
I've got one and pay attention to stuff like that.
yeah, I love it. Like it's been so interesting. I had no idea I'd be so interested in branding and trademarks and like all that. And I love it. It's a challenge.
Got a little rain hitting this metal roof, so if you hear some distortion, well, man, we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Glad of your walk and what you're doing, and just so what, Colorado. You a Colorado guy? You like to hike?
Oh yeah.
I can see that. When I went to Colorado, I've only been once, and it was recently, and I could just see Sean Stevenson all over that place. Beautiful.
I used to live in Flagstaff, Arizona, so that's right at the four corners. So you got Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. And so I used to go like Durango and stuff. I spent a lot of time
Wow.
doing some mountain biking and
Wow.
climbing and drinking. And
That's awesome.
yeah.
So he's building this brand new White Squirrel. So if you have a special event, dude, you guys host special events there?
Oh yeah.
So
Call us. We got all kinds of space.
got like a private room.
We got
so
we got like 3 different options for you. Yeah.
So, Mayor Todd Alcott, he was there. He had an event there, and then we had a Republican women event there that we've been to. And then
Yeah,
Mary and I we would have been to a lot more, but we have this crazy schedule, and so we have to pick and choose sometimes.
Yeah, we just had a wedding reception there this past weekend. We had a band from New York at the same time in the other room, and
Oh yeah.
while I was down at Duncan Hines Festival.
Do y'all remember what was the name? Megan told me to tell you about this band that she was trying to get up there. They played at Wilson's wedding.
Oh yes, I know. She's
Man,
sent it to me. I cannot remember. She sent me that 1,000 times. They're really good too.
All You or something like
Yeah.
that. But anyway, they were phenomenal. We were like looking at that band, and I was like, wow. So might be something to put the toe in the water and kind of check it out sometime.
And we're planning to start next week. We're doing a Margaritaville in
Yeah.
July. We've got a like Jimmy Buffett band.
Did you guys have midget wrestling?
Yes, micro wrestling.
Micro
wrestling.
sorry.
The Micro Wrestling
Micro wrestling.
Federation.
So I told my wife I want to go to that. She looked at me and she was like, "You're a Fruit Loop," but she said Steve Sutton went up there to Louisville
Sutton
to
was
watch
there.
micro
Oh, he
wrestling.
was there at our place.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Sutton was.
He was there. There was all kinds of people. Like we had about 700 people show up. We had it out in the parking lot. We shut the street down because so many
Wow.
people showed up. It was everything you think it was, and then some.
I had a houseboat, and if you had a houseboat, you were in the club, right? There was people. Don't ever think you're the biggest boat in the lake because you're not. There's people that come in and they have far more than you could ever dream about. So I feel like he's painting the same picture. There's a country club with the White Squirrel. You never know who you're talking to. You know, they can be multi-billionaires. They can be politicians.
Yeah. I love it.
They can be just run of the mill, like chucking the trucks. Like we probably consider ourselves, not just plain old average guy,
Yeah.
right? But great rapport, can talk to anybody. It's a long history of dedication. I'm glad to see the perseverance and the White Squirrel, what they're doing now, because I just think they're going to keep going to the top. Don't want to jinx that or anything.
I appreciate it.
We're proud of you, man.
Thanks for having me.
visiting with us today. And so we'll have to come down there and have a beer.
Come have a beer.
And watch some micro wrestling.
Yeah, we're bringing them back next year.
These guys come back. Everybody loves the White Squirrel. So once they've been there once, they're like, heck yeah, we're coming back next year.
Again, we brought a bunch of people in that didn't even know who we were. And I love it. And like,
just a good vibe and just laid back and be yourself and have a good time and no drama.
no, none.
You guys don't really have that. A lot of bars have like a lot of drama and a lot of cliques and all that junk.
We've had little to, no, I'm knocking on wood, little to no drama.
Or competition. Like there's some other brewers that try to come in this market. They don't last. They shut their doors. In fact, that's how you got your building, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ain't easy, is it?
It's a tough business. You gotta be creative.
Right. And that's what you're doing, being the visionaries.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Like I tell people, you're not gonna make any money, but you'll have a cool business card.
Well, awesome. Proud of what you're doing. Thank you for
it.
being here in Bowling Green. At least we have a brewer. What if we didn't have the White Squirrel? I mean, where would there be to go? Nowhere, right?
Yeah. I love what it's becoming.
Right. Well, thanks for what you're doing and the investment. And so that's with Sean Stevenson with the White Squirrel, and he's visiting with us and telling us all about his his path and his travel, but most of all, support your local businesses. If you want a craft beer, excellent place to go, and just if it's on the menu somewhere, pick it up, buy it. That's supporting a great guy and a great cause. So
I appreciate it.
yeah, thank you, viewers, for today. Until next time, we'll see you again. Thank you, buddy.
I gotta go put my top on my Jeep. I'll be right back.